Hey there, welcome to Forgotten Figures episode, I think we're on episode 4 now. Trying to find the voice of this channel. I definitely don't want to be the herky-jerky, crazy edit guy that's always like, hoop, 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 because I think that promotes ADD and plays into the whole fact that people can't focus and think for prolonged periods of time anymore. So I'm not playing into that, but I also don't want to be monologue guy where I come out with like a script. So just feeling it out, and we'll see how it goes. And as part of figuring out the voice, we're also just figuring out the height of this new iPhone 7. So, what? You're on an iPhone 7? How come you're not on an 8 yet? I always remain at least one model behind, so that everybody else can work out the bugs and the kinks and deal with all of the stuff that doesn't work. So I'm trying to get on my old setup, I had the iPhone, the previous iPhone, I had iPhone SE, and I got the tripod holder for that particular iPhone, so it clipped in nicely. Now I'm jerry-rigging some crazy balancing geometry physics lesson here, and hopefully it doesn't fall and my screen doesn't shatter. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm actually in the frame here, because the previous one was cut off right about there. So I'm going to stop it and check one more time. And the only last thing we needed was the external microphone plugged in. So I think we're set. This is Forgotten Figures, as I said, episode 4. And today we are going to start with a quote from a 1977 Nobel Prize winner, Dr. Rosalind Yalow. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Y-A-L-O-W. She says, quote, and I read this to our daughter quite frequently, "We still live in a world in which a significant fraction of people, including women, believe that a woman belongs and wants to belong exclusively in the home. The world cannot afford the loss of the talents of half of its people if we are to solve the many problems which beset us." Great quote. I would focus on exclusively in the home. I think we have, probably if I was going to overgeneralize, two camps. One that says women belong exclusively in the home, women who say screw that and they just completely abandon the home. I think it's important that she says that women do not belong exclusively in the home. I think having a marriage of both, just like men should, where we live in the home and outside of the home, seeking to be faithful in all of our responsibilities, is a very important thing. So I love that quote. I read it to our daughter quite frequently, and I encourage her to consider that and to be looking for ways to solve the many problems which beset us. A great example, and this is the forgotten figure, it's not Dr. Rosalind Yalow. The forgotten figure this time around is Annie Chilton. Some of you may have heard of her. I had not, but she invented the horse detacher and brake in 1891. She got the patent for that. And she saw a need at that time where horses would get spooked and they would take off running full steam down the cobblestone road or the country pathway. And there was no way, you were then just at the mercy of the horse. There was no way to stop the horse. And carriages would flip and people would get injured or killed. So she saw a need here. So she spent a few years designing and developing and ultimately securing the patent for the horse detacher and brake system. And this is a picture of her drawing, her patent drawing. And what it was is it was a device where you could pull a lever, and not only would it detach the horse from the carriage, but then there was also another lever you could use to apply brakes to the wheels on the carriage. Incredible invention if you think about it, and something that at that period of time would have served the safety of thousands and thousands of people who were able to get a carriage, upgrade their ride to the 1892 model of the latest, greatest features. No surround sound, no airbags, no air conditioning, but hey, at least you could get the horse off of your carriage and you could slow it down without flipping and getting crushed under the weight of all of that hard wood. So Annie Chilton, check her out. I'm going to include some links below where you can read some more information about her. But be inspired by that. And in your own life, in what you're doing right now, take this Dr. Rosalind Yalow quote and and look for the many problems to solve. Look for ways to solve the many problems which beset us. Because if that was true in 1977, it's definitely true as much, if not more so, than today. Forgotten Figures, episode 4, Annie Chilton. Check her out. Like, subscribe if you want. My kids actually told me one of the reasons that they like my channel is that I don't beg for those things. And I'm going to continue to do that. It's a free market. Do whatever the heck you want to do.